Alright, what's up, Figurama crew, guys, gals, non-binary pals? This is my first sort of top 5. It's my first ever on-camera talking video. I do these for the other channel, the enemyzero Studios gaming channel, linked below every week. But I've definitely been wanting to do some more personal videos on Figurama too, rather than just unboxings, talking about, my history and, stuff I'm a fan of and all that good stuff. So for the first one today, we're doing a top 5 list for the channel. And for the inaugural top 5 list, what better thing to talk about than G.I. Joe Classified, one of my number 1 lines that I collect right now. So today, we're going to be going over my top 5 G.I. Joe Classified figures released thus far as of December 2023. And like I say in a lot of my other videos, especially my G.I. Joe unboxings and stuff, is I don't have every figure. So this is my personal top 5. Your top 5 might be different. If it is, let me know below. Let me know the ones that really, the figures that you really love in the series thus far. Top 5 G.I. Joe Classified figures in the series so far for me.
Number 5.
All right, number 5 on the list is a pretty recent one. It's Tunnel Rat. And as I mentioned in the sort of unboxing videos, I really love Tunnel Rat because I love the movie, the G.I. Joe movie, the animated movie. And he was obviously a big part of the movie. And I really love what they did with his figure because, again, I think it looks perfect. Not to reiterate the whole video, I think it looks perfect with what you know about Tunnel Rat. Obviously, he's a tunnel rat. And I've heard people complain about his gun in this figure. I could not care less that he has a big gun. But all the stylings are there. I really like his tattoos on his arms. Or not the tattoos, but the markings on his arms. I love how they definitely made him more slender than the other Joes. That was the big thing I was worried about when the figure originally came out. And he is a little misproportioned a little bit. His torso is like a normal sized torso and his legs are a little bit shorter, so he's not exactly proportioned, correctly. But I think from the aesthetic from the movie, from the aesthetic from his first figure, this is a huge win, a huge modern update to Tunnel Rat, and I love everything about the figure. Once you get all his gear on and you stand him up, he looks so amazing. So it's definitely an awesome figure. I would definitely pick it up. I'm a huge Tunnel Rat fan from the movie, and I don't know. I love the figure. It's my number 5.
Number 4.
And now my number 4 is an even newer figure than Tunnel Rat. And I did a solo video of this when it came out because I didn't get him with the rest of the wave, but it is the second version of Firefly. And if you've seen that video, again, I love Firefly mainly from the comic book. And, I think of G.I. Joe as a combination of the show and the comic book. In my head, in my nostalgia, that's just what I do. And the first Firefly figure did not do Firefly justice at all, because in the comic book, he's actually a ninja master among the ranks of, Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. And the second figure was just that perfect middle ground where he does look more agile, more stealthy, more ninja-esque, but also as an explosive expert. The first figure was like completely, he's an explosive expert. He had that big puffy ballistic vest on that I did not really like. But the second figure is so good. It's got a bunch of super unique accessories. He's got, that remote control car, that RC car. He's got landmines on his backpack. He's got a little, a detonator or a remote control for the car. Like, it's such a good figure. And Firefly's got one of those obviously classic gray camo designs that you can never forget. So if you look at this guy from a distance and you know G.I. Joe, you know exactly, hey, that's Firefly. But again, this figure really stepped it up because it definitely fits the aesthetic of his complete history rather than just the cartoon. Because like I said in the original review video, in the cartoon, he was not a major character. He was just there in the background doing setting up explosives and stuff once in a while. He didn't have like a major role as far as I can remember, obviously. but in the comic book, he had like a super major role in a lot of the key storyline parts. And I definitely think the figure has an amazing aesthetic to it. Amazing, amazing, amazing. He's got that super cool remote control car. He's got, you know, the night vision goggles and everything. Like, I don't know. The second version of the figure is like, it's almost perfection to me. Like, if they ever did a third version, I don't know what they could improve with the second version. This version is so good.
Number 3.
All right, my number 3 favorite figure, classified figure thus far, is a pick that not many people will probably agree with. But it's okay. It's my list, okay? But it is Alley Viper. And Alley Viper is one of those... There's a couple G.I. Joe figures I had when I was little that I played to death with because I didn't get any other figures for a long time. You know, there were spans where I couldn't get a lot of figures. So I had, you know, just a few G.I. Joes or whatever, and I'd play with them for months and months and months. And Alley Viper and Shockwave... there's a couple others where 2 of those figures where, you know, I was stuck without new figures for a long time, and I played with those 2 to death. I loved Alley Viper and Shockwave. Shockwave's out now, by the way. I do have him on my desk. But Alley Viper was so unique to me with that big shield in the color scheme, and I know there's a repaint out now. There's a crimson, a Walmart exclusive crimson colored one, Crimson Guard one, which I actually do not like. I crave this orange and blue color scheme. It's so nostalgic for me. And, you know, the fact that they, you know, the mask is even cooler in this one. It flips up. And the shield's got that, the details with the screen on the inside. But again, it looks almost just like the original shield. The backpack even, you know, the backpack is a homage to the original figure too. It looks almost just like the original figure. This figure is not a perfect figure. I actually have one of the wonky ones where the shin guards are crooked, and it definitely bothers me. Could have hopefully seen one on the shelf with straight shin guards, but I ordered it online somewhere, so I couldn't see it before I bought it. And I got one with super crooked shin guards, and I hate that. It really bothers me when I look at it. But this figure is so good. It's so good compared to the original figure. Like, I love every aspect of it. And I know not everyone's going to agree with me. Alley Viper, it dropped in price pretty quick after it came out. But I love the color scheme. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the shield. I love everything about it. It brings me back to my childhood. So this is definitely number 3 from the series so far for me.
Number 2.
All right, number 2 on my list. Number 1 and 2 on my list are almost interchangeable. I like them about the same. And I think I've mentioned in past videos before what this might be, but it is the original Cobra Bat. Battle Android Trooper. I did have an original Bat when I was younger, and I had the second version, the like black and orange and green one. There were some neon colors on it. And I definitely did not know I was going to like this figure as much as I did when I originally got it. But after opening the figure and messing with it and stuff, I love everything about it. I love the backpack, how it looks like its original backpack. I love, you know, the chest plate that pops off that shows its circuitry in it. The only thing I maybe wish is I wish the circuitry was actually a holographic sticker like the original figure. I think that would have been a super cool touch. But the color scheme and everything is so iconic with the bat, and I love everything about it. And I love, you know, the destructible pieces like the combat damaged head and the combat damaged plate on the front. I do have all the repaints of it, and I do have the Arctic bat too. But this original bat is so cool. It reminds me so much of the original figure, and I love the iconic black and the dark gray and the orange on it. Oh man, it looks so good. All the different hand pieces are really good. The fact that you can swap out either hand is awesome. And this is my number 1 army builder in G.I. Joe, even more than, you know, Cobra infantry and stuff like that. Like if I ever army build something in G.I. Joe, it's going to be bats for sure. They were a huge part in the comics, and they were a huge part in the show too, which is probably why nostalgically they're sort of stuck in my mind as one of the ultimate Cobra troops. But I just love all the details of the bat, and it's definitely number 2 on my list.
Number 1.
And the number 1 figure, G.I. Joe Classifieds, released thus far as of December 2023 for me is actually the first one I ever got. And, you know, it's probably a lot of people's favorite, so it might not be a surprise, but it is, dun dun dun, Snake Eyes. And this is Snake Eyes, the version 1 figure, which is the only one I have. I don't have either the 2 Timber figures. I do have Desert Commando, and I don't have the retro carded either. So again, I don't have every figure in the series, but this figure launched the whole series for me, because I got it at the suggestion of my buddy Matt, Customs by Matchu. And man, oh man, he kicked off the series perfectly. This figure is a perfect figure. Mine is a little loose at times, but he does hold poses very well. And the posability and stuff, I didn't know what I was getting into with the Classified series. But Snake Eyes really showed off exactly what the Classified series is going to be about, right? Like, you know, all the articulation. He had butterfly joints. He had the ab crunch in there. All the details of the costume and everything is a complete nod back to the original couple figures in Snake Eyes. This figure is more closer to the second version of Snake Eyes than the first version in the original series. The first version was, you know, the sort of potato-y versions of the G.I. Joes, I like to call them. But I love everything about the costume. I love the different textures on there. I love the different accessories. The grenade bandolier he has around his chest, which the original figure had. Obviously, you know, the mask modernized a little bit. But again, if you know who Snake Eyes is, you look exactly at this figure and you could obviously point him out from a mile away. Hey, that's the coolest ninja black dressed G.I. Joe from my childhood that I remember. He's got an amazing sword. He can hold all of his accessories. And the posability is definitely king with him. He was so posable and could get such good movements and different poses for different aesthetics. Like, it was so good, so good. And to me, this is the ultimate Snake Eyes figure. Like, I don't think that's part of the reason I don't have some of the newer Snake Eyes, is because how could they improve this, right? And maybe they did. I'll get them eventually if I see them on sale or something like that. I would definitely like to have a Timber. But it is such a good figure. Snake Eyes is definitely my number one thus far. Maybe I'll do a list like this next year and see how it changes with, you know, 100 more figures out. Because they're up to, as of General Hawk, they're up to 105 figures now, which is insane. But it is what it is. It is one of the best lines going on right now. So guys, gals, non-binary pals, that is my top 5 G.I. Joe classified list thus far. If you agree, if you disagree, let's chat. Let me know below. What are your favorite classified figures thus far? Let me know. And if you like this type of video, let me know that too, down below. That's where you can get in contact with me. So click that subscribe button, or the next time you see an RC car, it could be Firefly about to blow you up.